Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 3 of our asynchronous session for Health A. And today we're going to be talking about health risk from alcohol and tobacco. All right. And just to let you know, after we go review our learning targets, there is in your chat box, a link to the Padlet we're going to be going through. You're welcome to open it and have it ready so we can do our activity in after our learning targets in the next slide. All right. So here, while we are reviewing our learning targets, we're going to identify what alcohol is. We're going to identify information on alcohol. You got to know this information because you want to keep yourself safe in the future when you are, okay, keeping when you are helping others in situations you want to get away from. Okay, and we're going to analyze the different health risks that correlates with alcohol. Okay, so you don't want to have this happen to your body. You can understand what you're going through. Also, we're going to be gathering information about what tobacco is and examine health risk from tobacco. We're also going to break down different ways on how to say no in alcohol to alcohol and tobacco. All right. Now, throughout this whole thing, we're going to also discuss not just the health risk, but we're also going to discuss about how our social life is impacted through these um, the these addictive items that that affect your health, that are negative, that you don't want to be encounter at all. All right. So here we have our activity. Definitely want you to go through your Padlet. So while you're listening and typing out, don't put your name in here. Go ahead and click on the right hand bottom circle. There's a pink circle with plus sign. Click that link or click that circle. Once you click it, a box will show up. Go ahead and type on the bottom box and just type your answer right here. So think about here. You have a friend named John. He went out with some friends and had too much to drink. Okay. So you see him walking to his vehicle. What would you do when you see your friend? How would you approach him? Because he had too much to drink. So what would you do to your friend to help him get home safe? And what are different ways, not just calling, what are different ways can you use throughout the whole time, and you give me different kinds of examples. Please put about 3 sentences. I know there's probably about one sentence here there you can write, but give me about 3 sentences about how you can help them out and give me different examples. Go ahead and pause the recording while you write this down, and I will approve your post when I'm done. All right, press that, click on the bottom right circle, pink circle. Thank you. All right. Thank you for doing that activity. I'm gonna definitely go through them and comment in here and there. So thank you guys. All right. So here we go. We can take some notes right here. Important key terms. All right. We're gonna see these key terms in your exams. You're gonna see these in your final exams as well, even in checkpoints. So definitely write these down. And you're gonna probably even do an activity that helps you out with these. All right. So cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is a liver failure due to extensive scar tissue. Now you do get this through alcohol, and it can even happen through tobacco. So we're gonna even go through that and how that health risk occurs. All right. Also, we're gonna be discussing blood alcohol concentration, the BAC. So, like I said, we're gonna be discussing about alcohol information. So, a measurement of the level of the alcohol in an individual's bloodstream. Okay. So you're gonna be, you're gonna understand what this is in the next slide. All right. Then, like I said, take some notes. And we got next nicotine. So this is everyone pretty much knows this, but we gotta know the exact term. So it's a toxic, addictive drug extracted from tobacco, which acts as a stimulant in small doses. All right. And then next, we gotta know some help how we can help our friends, help our peers if we need this, anything occurs. So we got rehabilitation. These are intervention that is meant to help a person return to being a productive member of society. Getting a job, you know, quitting, tobacco or even alcohol. So anything that you do, this is what we got. So, all right, go ahead and take some notes. Go ahead and pause the recording as well if you need this. All right, let's move on. All right, so here we go. So let's talk about blood alcohol. Let's talk about alcohol itself. Now, alcohol is an intoxicating adult beverage. Now, there's three different types of forms. Now, you got beer, with the hops and alcohol. Then you got wine with the grapes from the grapevines, and then you got liquor, which different. It's more heavier and more you know more small doses that can affect your impairment. All right. Now each form has a different amount of alcohol amount. All right. So you got ABV. Now we went through ABV. Yeah, you understand what this acronym is. Where do you think you got this from, guys? Think about it. Almost similar, but all right. So ABV, what it means is alcohol by volume. ABV. All right. You might see this on labels. All right. Now there's different types of alcohol content from 4%, maybe even lower to 95% high. All right. So the higher the alcohol blood volume is, the higher how much alcohol is in that bottle. All right. Now you also see proof. All right. Now there's different types of numbers that you see proofs. Now, what do you think proof means? What do you think proof stands for? Now, if you think it's a percentage, yes, it is a percentage. Now, it's the double percentage of how much alcohol is present in an alcohol beverage. All right. Now, in an alcohol beverage, like a serving, right? So you might see 40%, 40% proof, or 40 proof, or on more heavier alcohol, like the liquors. All right. Now, alcohol is a depressant. It's a depressant. All right. Depressant. Do you know what that means when it comes to depressant? Now, you might have heard depress. It's similar, but you know what that term means. We've seen it in our lessons. Now, depressant, if you're thinking about a substance? Yes, it is a substance. Now, it's a substance that causes body to be less active, and it slows down your body process. All right. So you gotta understand, like, it's not just being sad, like depressed. It's actually a depressant that reacts to you, that makes your body react to alcohol. All right. Now, you might have heard stories that people cry or all that. Yeah, because it makes you sad because it reacts to those, you know, emotions. It can even react to your body, to your brain, what you're thinking about. Now, the brain development can be affected by alcohol in teenage years. Very, very amount. Now, think of your hippocampus. If you don't know what that is, think about it. What is responsible for, what do you think it's responsible for? Your hippocampus in your brain. It's the easiest thing you've been doing it. You've been done it. You've done it since you were in education. You learn it from teachers. What do you have to do from that? Hint. If you think about learning, yes, it is responsible for learning. What else? Responsible for memory. Yes. If you're thinking about memory and learning, yes, that is part of your hippocampus. That is important. Now you can affect that. That can be affected by alcohol. All right, you don't want to do that. Now, uh, with alcohol, there when it affects your hippocampus as well, even as you're an adult, it does affect um, some part of your brain. All right, well, as you age, it can affect you too, not just your teenage years. So you got to think about when do you want to be responsible about this? All right, some people don't even drink it, which is great. All right, that's a great example. or prime example, what taking care of your body. Now, through this, a drunken person, when you evolve and when you've probably seen on television, even not Hollywood, when they often have slurred speeches, you know, the ability to inability to balance. They're not even able to walk straight. We've seen this a lot in Hollywood, and they have a slow reaction time. So be careful. All right, when you're going out there, even in the middle of the night, and even in the day, you never know. Be careful. All right, in moderate amounts, through alcohol, it can be a stimulant. It gives you more of a stimulant effect as well, where it makes you feel good. You think you're like invincible. You do not want to think this way. No, don't think you're cool. No, no, no. Be responsible. All right, let's move on. All right, now throughout the social life, we already know what alcohol can do, even outside in the real world. Alcohol, it has medical effects. It affects your body. You can develop oral cancer, not just from tobacco. We're going to talk about that in the next slide, but you can develop it through the cheeks, the gums, the lips, even the roof of the mouth. It's a liquid, guys. Think about it. Too much, it can affect your body. Okay. You can also develop enzyme pancreatitis, inflammation in your pancreas. What do you think the pancreas role is in your body? What's the role for that? It's the most important. You need it all the time, every day. Don't have this, I don't know how. How are you gonna survive? If you think about eating, yes, you're on the right path. It's more for a role of digestion, right? You gotta understand it's gonna go through that. You also can develop alcoholic cardiomyopathy. All right. Again, it's alcoholic cardiomyopathy. All right. Myopathy. Yeah. And it's a condition where the heart cannot pump up blood efficiently. This can develop, heart attack. It can also develop stroke to the brain. All right. Now here's an example what also happens to alcohol. It can damage your liver. Your liver is very important. All right. Now, if you when with the liver, it can develop scar tissue. You can also lead to cirrhosis. Remember, we discussed cirrhosis. When you guys, what is cirrhosis, guys? Liver failure. You don't have a liver? Ooh, now you have to get a liver transplant. That's not a good idea. Don't want to be in that situation. Take care of yourself. Now we also have negative effects too from alcohol. Now we're going to talk about more about social life, our economic life, even our health effects. Okay, these are our social, negative social environments that we go through. Now, alcohol increases violence. See, don't want to go through this situation, right? It can even harm others, you and others. Drunk driving. We'll talk about that. It affects your health, your social, and economic life. All right, not just your body, but it gives you your social and economic. Remember that. That's the key. Hint. It also damages. When you go through health effects, it damages your body. Now, it damages your liver. We just talked about develops. You can lead to cirrhosis. You can even damage your central nervous system and your digestive system. We already talked about your pancreas. Pancreas. You can develop pancreatitis. Now, we have to understand it does not just also affect everyone's health, it can also affect women that are pregnant. It is very, 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 important we help prevent that because it can help. It can lead to health effects from miscarriages. It can even do premature babies can develop or problems where it can have physical, mental health problems, abilities, well, not abilities, but problems, illnesses that affect the child from sight, from hearing, your memory. It can even affect your height, even your speech, develop, slurring words. Sometimes lisp happens right there. I've heard cases of cleft lip. Now, with alcohol, we also have a social problem when it comes. I've had friends that have dealt with this where they had friends that drank a lot in college and it was affecting their job, affecting their social life, losing friends, family, even peers. All right, it can lead to domestic abuse. Please report any domestic violence. You don't want no one to get hurt. Okay, it can also lead to group violence. You've seen on Hollywood bar fights when everyone's drinking. Listen, don't get to that. Drunk driving. That's a huge no-no. About 1/3 of car-related deaths involves drunk drivers. I'm telling you. So think about yourself. Think about yourself. How many people that can be? Think about how the odds. But be careful out there. Report it. Call the authorities. So think about that. Now, it also can lead to can also lead to you know suicide. So please be careful about that. All right. Help your friends. Help your peers. Help your family. Help anyone that's out there. Okay. Now, throughout the social life, I know that's very sad to discuss. You know, let's talk about economic. Now, alcohol can lead to losing money, tons of money, thousands and thousands and thousands, heavy fines, cost can $10,000 or even more. Second offenses, third offenses can be jail time, prison time. Now you can even get suspended license. You'll lose your jobs. Happens. So even getting a DUI, you get a machine installed into your car where you have to blow into it and make sure you can turn on your car. Make sure you're sober. You don't want that to happen. So it's best to abstain from alcohol because it can improve your memory, your decision making, even in your long term health. It can benefit. You can live long to to your 100 century years old. All right. Next, let's see what we got. Matching vocabulary. So I understand we have not talked about certain things, but we have talked about most of them. So go ahead, pause the recording, and go ahead and give an activity. Draw it out. On the left, we mark it 1, 2, 3, 4. On the right, A, B, C, D, and match it. Thank you. All right, let's. Thank you for waiting. Let's check out this. Here we go. See if you're right. Looks like 1 goes to C, 2 goes to A, 3 goes to D, 4 goes to B. There you go. You got it. Awesome. Did it? Hey, Keep it in your notes. Study. Use it. Help you out. Checkpoints. All right. So next we got is tobacco. So most of the tobacco is made out of plants. It's usually through these nicotine rich leaves. you know, and it's a plant. It's indigenous to the Americas. So normally it's cured by the process of drying and fermentation. Now, tobacco is very, very harmful to your health. All right. Now, the reason nicotine is highly addictive is because of the chemical found in tobacco products. Right, the chemical inside. Now, it has a blood-bearing barrier and it stimulates the brain, but it slows your process and it affects your memory, affects your learning. Now, during now, nicotine leads to the release of chemical called dopamine. All right, so we're going to talk about more about nicotine in later slides. Now, before we have tobacco. Tobacco in the early years had a bad social habit because the public didn't know about the dangers of tobacco. Think about that. How does that make you feel when a company is dishing out a product and not even telling the company, or the public, how harmful it is, or how like a product beneficial for you, like lotion, that can help dry skin, you know, but it's not. It's negative. How does that make you feel? Even tobacco industries use political power to hide evidence, using money, bribe. Now, throughout the time, tobacco advertisers found ways, to reach teenagers even, but the government took forms of action towards that, and they went and banned advertising, even helped prevent movies advertising it. Just if it's part of the act, that was different, but it's still in there. It's part of that. It's a way how they lead it. But through tobacco, there's different ways of forms. There's chewing tobacco. There's cigarettes. There's pipe. You know. There's hookah. Hookah is a form. You see e-cigarettes. E-cigarettes is not good. Now through all these tobacco forms of tobacco, you got a health risk. Now it can increase lung disease from emphysema. You can get COPD. See right there, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Leads to stroke, heart disease, different types of heart disease, and heart attack. Just sleep. You can pass away in your sleep. You don't want that to happen. Mouth and throat cancer. That can happen a lot from chewing tobacco, even smoking cigarettes, smoking cigars, all that. Now, all forms of tobacco are potential carcinogens. What is this? What do you think it leads? It's very deadly. Think about that. That's your hint. If you're thinking cancer, yes, it is a substance that of the environmental factor that leads to cancer. Okay, so happens. Nicotine crosses the blood-brain barrier, stimulating the brain as well. That's the nicotine we were talking about. Nicotine is one of the reasons people get addicted. It alters that brain. Okay, it gives you adrenaline. It's adrenaline rush. You've had adrenaline rush when got an accident or when you score the winning goal. Or get injured. Adrenaline rush. You don't feel that at first, and then later, the pain comes in. Happened to me before. I played sports. But it also adrenaline is bad for you because it increases your heart rate, blood pressure, even your brain activity. All right, you don't want that adrenaline rush every time. But it makes you feel energized. Now, another form of tobacco, chewing tobacco, increases your cancer a lot more, higher chance, because of it gives it through the tongue, the cheek, gums, even the throat. That leathery patch, you know everyone, that white patch, that's starting right there. That's lead form. Now, it also develops pancreatic cancer, gum disease, tooth decay. You want fake teeth? Don't want to do that. Even can give you heart disease. Even gives you, like I said, the adrenaline rush. Pumps up that heart. Now, we do have different ways to say no to drugs. We know how to say no to drugs. I've heard it. Easy to say no, yeah. But situation does rises many times. Now you always can stay to say no, but sometimes you want to waive the offer. Sometimes it's easier. You know, no, no, it's okay. That gesture. Now, that what if this does not work? Think about this. Think to yourself, what if this does not work? Well, how can I do it? You don't want to get in that, violence. No, no, no. You don't want to yell at the person that's being rude. All right. Be considerate, but you can give that assertive communication, expression that confident, like, oh no, it's okay. You can give a reason. You know, give a reason to follow up with that refusal. Oh no, I promised my parents I wouldn't do anything like that. I'd be like, hey, that's okay. They make, they won't, if they make fun of you, just wave it off. You don't want that. Be polite. Be more, you know, more confident. Be more, have that self control. Focus on your values, your goals as well. You can even give that. It is my goal. You know, myself until I'm 50 and give a long one. But you can also now, when it comes to this, think about the consequences into this. This can lead to problems. From parents can ground you forever. That happens before. Hey, you heard it before many, many times. All right. Um, it can also, you can avoid risky situations as well. Having that self control. You build that self efficacy where you can believe in yourself, have confidence in yourself. But you know, getting out of those consequences as well. Don't want to lose your phone. Think about that a lot. Now, having good things to say no also builds your confidence, your morale, helps build relationships as well. Now, friends get to care about you a lot more when you take care of them and you take care of yourself. It becomes really increasing. Now, this might even take time. When get to adults, it happens. It helps out. You know, you'll also be a role model. To adults and peers. Be a role model to your friends. Pretty interesting. Now, think about throughout this, interesting on how to say no. Um, you know, think about the costs, social costs throughout this, alcohol throughout this, tobacco less. Think about school. Think about career as well. They have social media. Okay, it's very very important you listen to this. I know it's not on the board. Social media is out there. It's gonna be there forever. Okay, it's the internet. So think about the consequences. Think about the long term when it comes to that. You don't want to affect your future career. You don't want to affect your school, trying to get into college or going to a job. job interview. Be like, oh, I seen that. They won't trust you. All right. And again, financial costs, tens of thousands of dollars, jail time. You don't want that. All right. And health. Think about that. That's very, very important. Your health, your peers as well. All right. Now, go ahead and click on the quizzes tab, guys, and complete this week. It's gonna help you receive the credit. So you just log into your course, just click on quizzes. It should be between syllabus and modules. Once you click that, you go ahead and click 3. There's also the recording if you need to watch the recording again. All right, and then take the quiz. And then once you answer the question, submit. All right. If you have any questions, please call me, email me, or even message me through the Primavera website. All right, I'll help you out. So I can help you out on the quizzes as well. Schedule one-on-one. Any announcements on the book me as well. All right, guys. Thank you, and have a great day, guys.